Next on our coast-to-coast Socathon, Orlando, Florida. Just 10 miles from Disney World, you'll find Wet and Wild, where the rides mess with your mind while leaving your body dripping wet.
There's just so many great rides.
It's the thrill-seeking bit. It's got some of the best rides here. The rides are more inventive.
It's a great place to come. There's lots of things to do.
Built in 1977 by the founder of nearby SeaWorld, Wet and Wild opened with a single wave pool and one concrete slide. My, how things have changed.
Wet and Wild is 60 acres, which includes our own private lake, which spans about 20 acres. We've got 40 slides. It takes some guts to ride these rides, there's no doubt about it.
First, let's boogie down the Disco H2O, a retro raft voyage through a liquid nightclub, complete with lasers, lights, disco balls, and a pounding soundtrack from the 1970s. And what could be scarier than that?
I'm about to get out of H2O. While I'm on a journey at Seco, I love it all. Get me on it now.
Disco H2O is the most popular ride in the park. The ride starts 65 feet up in the air, and they go through a 9-foot tunnel washed with LED lights. And then it goes dark, and you plunge down into a 60-foot wide discotheque, and the best music in that area.
It was so much fun. We were like dancing inside. It has disco balls everywhere. It's like H2O and the lights are going around. It's like a big toilet bowl.
But the Disco Toilet Bowl is just the beginning. Prepare to lose your mind inside the black hole. 1,000 gallons of water a minute blast a two-person tube through 500 feet of intergalactic darkness. Who knew deep space would get you this drenched?
You climb up the spiral staircase, which is about 50 feet up in the air, and then you enter a dark saucer, and we've put black lights in it. And so it's got an eerie feel to it, and then you just drop in the darkness and the laser lights.
It's great, that's part of the excitement. Around fun?
If you survive the black hole without going insane, Wet and Wild offers yet another mind-altering ride. They call it the Brainwash. Why? Because after this 4-person raft ride through a trippy tunnel and a 53-foot vertical drop, you won't even remember your own name.
Inside of the funnel that they're riding in is a movie on a 20-foot high screen that is a tongue-in-cheek propaganda film espousing how great Wet and Wild is.
It is scientifically proven happiness is a trip to Wet and Wild.
So we're trying to brainwash our guests, tongue-in-cheek, so to speak, and all of a sudden, the bottom drops out.
So it's kind of trippy. It draws your attention away, and then it drops you down real fast. So it gets your adrenaline going and pushes you back and forth. Some people get a little nervous, though.
I wouldn't do it again.
I'll do it again for sure.
And the most mind-blowing water park in America has one ride that plays into our worst fears: claustrophobia and dizzying heights. The Bombay. It's the tallest and most spine-tingling ride in all of Wet and Wild.
That's the only ride in the park I haven't had the guts to ride.
I was like, oh, hell no. And plus, I don't like heights anyway. It was the heart, so I said, boop, 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 boop. And then I just said, let's turn around.
The guest gets into this vertical coffin. The door is closed behind them, and they're literally standing there waiting for the lifeguard to press a button. And when they do, a trap door drops from underneath them, and they plunge 70 feet down into the water. And you're free-falling for a split second, and you're just sliding right down, almost in a straight drop down. And at the bottom of the ride, there's a camera where people can watch the facial expressions of the people in this rocket as they're getting ready to be launched.
Go ahead. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Okay, cross your arms, cross your arms. Stand back against the side. All right, stay just like that, all right? All right, here we go.
drop the bottom out from under you and you just fly down.
You don't know when you're going to get dropped, so the lifeguard pushes the button and you go down the slide.
Yeah, we always have to motivate them a lot of times. I usually tell them that it's only 2 seconds to get to the bottom, and just keep your arms and legs across the whole time down. I can't believe I let him go first.
Bombs away. With endless, innovative, and mind-bending water rides, it's no wonder Wet n Wild hauls in up to 7,000 people a day, and some of them even leave with their sanity intact. Next, we're heading across the border, because our neighbors in Canada know something about big thrills too. Welcome to Edmonton Mall in Alberta, Canada. With 5.4 million square feet and 800 stores, it's the largest shopping and entertainment complex in the world. But we aren't here to shop, we're here to splash. The biggest mall on earth is actually home to its own water park, and this isn't some rinky-dink kiddie pool.
West Edmonton Mall houses the world's largest indoor water park.
Oh, we love it. The slides are pretty fantastic.
I think it's pretty exciting here. Came all the way from Oregon to check it out here from the States.
The World Water Park entertains over 500,000 guests a year.
Enter World Water. Built in 1985, it's the largest water park under one very big roof. The 300,000 square foot glass dome houses all 5 acres, big enough to fit 4 football fields inside. And we've selected only the most extreme rides World Water has to offer, starting with the exhilarating Sky Screamer. Ever dreamt of sliding down a 13-story building? This nearly vertical drop is for you.
Your back is glued to the slide, and it's just sheer acceleration until you get to the bottom.
I was about to go down the most extreme slide, the most extreme water park, in my opinion, most extreme city.
Pretty much free fall for the first 20 feet. Then you touch the slide. Then after that, you kind of skim across the top of the water all the way until you get to this bottom spot. Barely touching the slide, really, when you go down.
Think that's scary? World Water Park's most gravity-defying thrill is right over here. And about 10 stories up, believe it or not, it's actually an indoor bungee jump that sends you plummeting more than 100 feet to graze the surface of the wave pool.
It's quite the thrill just getting up to the top, let alone getting tied on it and having to drop down into the wave lake. It's quite an exhilarating experience even for the people in the pool, let alone the guy that's got the bungee around his ankles.
We have 2 forms of jumping. You need to go with the weight. Your ankles means you're diving off the power, you're upside down, and you do not touch water. Or you go with weights and chest, also known as body, which means you jump off the tower any way you wish. Flips, backflips, beginners, running, whatnot.
Well, yeah, it's my first time bungee jumping, but I don't know, I just always like this kind of stuff, and we're up here for a school trip, so decided now or never.
I'm going to be bungee jumping forward, attached by the ankles. I'm scared of heights, but I'm still going to try it. It's something that I push myself to do.
Yeah, this is one of the most extreme things I've ever done.
Had enough free fall? Ready to relax in World Water Park's massive indoor wave pool? Good luck, because this baby generates waves up to 6 feet tall and uses 2.6 million gallons of water, more than 4 Olympic-sized pools, making it the world's biggest indoor wave pool.
It's such a giant wave pool, and every time the bell rings for the waves to come, the kids scream like they're so excited about it. It's just awesome.
Very impressive for an indoor structure. That's accomplished with over 1,500 horsepower of hydraulic energy to make these things function.
Being the largest mall in the world, they should have the largest wave pool in the world.
The world's largest indoor wave pool, a death-defying bungee jump, a slam and water slide? Pretty cool. But you might be asking yourself, why put a whole water park entirely indoors? Ever spend a winter in Canada?
The World Water Park is open 365 days a year.
It's just awesome in the middle of winter to come here and be able to walk around your bare feet.
We've been to a few indoor parks, but this is really the biggest one.
It's got the most variety of rides, which really makes it the most fun.
That's one mega mall where you really can shop till you drop. When we return, you're staring into the eye of a tornado. And later, it's the highest and fastest water slide on Earth. And you're gonna take the plunge. When Extreme Waterparks returns.